Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So I spent a few minutes here just talking about double unders and what this really tells us. If after we do a lot of double unders in a workout, your calves are really sore. So let's go ahead and just assume that you've been doing CrossFit or working out for a while, and this isn't like month 1, 2, 3, or maybe your first 6 months of working out. So what we see very consistently in the gym is CrossFitters, even though kind of the intent of CrossFit is to fill in the gaps and work on your weaknesses, what we tend to see, and this is actually completely fine, but you do want to take it into account, we see CrossFitters tend to lean in heavily to the things that they like, and then they lean out from the things that they don't like. So something that a lot of CrossFitters find that they don't like is running. And really, in my experience, once people start getting comfortable running and run more, almost every CrossFitter ends up liking running. But until you do the classic CrossFit thing and take yourself out of your comfort zone and put yourself into doing heavy thrusters, to running, to doing this, doing that, spending a long time on the rower, whatever it might be, the clean jerk snatch, whatever it might be, until you take the time to put yourself in that, you just never quite develop it, and you always kind of leave it on the outskirts. So what we see a lot is when we have a lot of double unders in a workout, and by a lot, honestly, we're not really talking about a lot. We're talking about 300 to 500 double unders in a workout, and if you're good at double unders, think about what that means. Ignore the rope part of it, okay? Doing this 300 to 500 times. So it's pretty obvious to see why your calves might get sore the next day. But actually, let's think about this. Because if we are truly running enough, and enough is like once or twice a week, you don't have to be running all the time, but we should be running once or twice a week. If that's in a workout or on its own, doesn't really matter. We should be doing that once or twice a week. Every mile you run has about, and everyone's a little different, but we'll just say has about 1,500 steps. So that's 1,500 times 750 on each leg, where you're having to support 4 to 6 times your body weight as you're going from foot to foot. Okay, so let's go back and now let's think of double unders. 300 to 500 double unders where we're landing with both feet on the ground with not really that much force, maybe the same amount of force as running, except we got both feet, so probably half the amount of force, and not as many times. So here's what we can tell, that if you're doing 300 to 500 double unders, even if you're doing one of these CrossFit workouts that has 800 or 1,000 double unders, when we compare that to running a mile or 6 miles or 10 miles, it doesn't compare at all. So here's the deal. What we so commonly see is if you're someone who gets very sore from double unders, really it's just telling us either about how much you're running or your running technique itself. And we see so many people use a running technique that has a heel strike and their feet stay on the ground for a really long time, as opposed to having a running technique, here's my double unders, a running technique that takes into account the exact same thing we train when we're doing double unders. And we use the springiness of the arch of our foot, our Achilles, and our calves to produce our energy. It's almost free energy because it's just the muscle elasticity plus gravity doing the work. So here's what we're looking at is if you get very sore from double unders, if you get just sore a little bit, honestly, from double unders, that's probably going to tell you that you're either not running enough, and again, once or twice a week is plenty, or it's telling you your running technique needs a little bit of work. Most people just are like, I know how to run, and then they focus so much on snatch technique and kipping technique and all these other things. So don't throw it out. Running has a lot of technique with posture, how to use your feet and everything the right way, how to breathe, how to make sure we're using gravity. I've got a bunch of videos on movementlink.fit in the running section that help you work on these things. So just check in on yourself. And if you're getting really sore after double unders, check in on that running technique, check in on your running frequency, because the reality is the amount and volume and fatigue of double unders is really almost like a running recovery day. It should not be at the scale of what these long runs are. So if your double unders are crushing your calves, probably means you're not training your calves enough, and the place to train those calves is going to be with running with proper technique. Hope this helps. Talk to y'all soon.